Alright folks, we are going to start the video off with a cold start in the driveway, and then we'll take it for a drive, do a nice walk around. I'll show you guys some cool features. I do have just one key with the truck. It does have the working key fob that unlocks all the doors. This key does go to the bed cap, and this wrench does not have a function, but I thought it was kind of cool. Wait for our glow plug light to go off. Neutral, clutch in. And all of our lights are off. We do have the parking brake on. I'll pop the hood real quick. Battery there as well. Now we'll take it for a quick drive, and I can show you guys kind of what it's like to drive a 6-speed manual diesel truck. We'll start today's drive with the windows up so you guys can get a feel of the cabin noise and engine noise. I personally like to drive with the windows down because I like to hear the turbo noises. It is a very good feeling shifter. Less play in this shifter than any BMW shifter I've felt. There's no bushings or linkages. It's direct into the transmission, which I quite like. Boost comes on at about 1600 RPM. So I try to, shift where it puts me just below 2 grand, and you can stay in boost, and it accelerates nicely. When you fall out of boost, you're not moving very far. Now hopefully my microphone is able to pick up some of the turbo sounds. I have the windows down now. The Ford windows roll down very quickly, which is nice, much faster than my German cars. There it comes. The brakes are very strong in this truck, as they're meant to stop quite the load. They are hydro boost brakes. There's obviously not much vacuum in the turbo diesel engine, so the brakes are actually very responsive. Now, while we're in this parking lot, I figure I'll use this time to kind of go through the gears, some of the interior features and quirks. So, we have over here the gear lever. I say it's a 6-speed. Ford probably says it's a 4-speed with a low range and an overdrive, as you have, that's your first and second gear gates, and then if you push it over a little harder, you got your reverse and your low. Now, one of the cool features I think about the truck is you also have your on-the-fly 4-wheel drive, high and low. So if we switch the truck, we're going to go straight on the pavement. We're not going to damage anything, don't worry. We're going to go in 4 low. Give it a little roll, get it engaged. Good. Now, we're going to put it in the low on top of the 4 low. And I think this is one of its party tricks. the truck does. The truck does a whopping maybe 1-2 miles an hour, which I think is kind of cool. Maybe not. You know, if you ever need to pull down any houses or pull anyone out of the ditch, or you just like walking next to your truck, it's kind of a cool function. Now, we'll go back to two-wheel drive, and we can drive it like a normal truck. Now for this, I'm really not giving it much gas at all, since it has so much torque, you just kind of let the clutch out. One of the things I really like about this transmission with the extra low is for situations like in this parking lot, it's quite easy to park, because instead of having to ride the clutch in first gear, I'll simply put it in low, and you can just let the clutch ride out for nice low speed maneuverability, and you're not slipping the clutch. And on top of that, this truck is not the best at making it into a parking spot on one turn, so while you're in low, you've got reverse right above it, and you can straighten out your horrible parking job. Well, we've got some good sunshine right here. I'm going to go ahead and walk around, go around the exterior of the truck, point out any defects or flaws. The paint is Sonic Blue, as stated in the ad. That is a very beautiful, popular Mustang color. Has a lot of flake to it. The aluminum wheels are specific to the Lariat trim. This is a manual locking hub for four-wheel drive. I have figured that out the hard way. You'll notice on this mirror, it's got a little crack right there. That's what happens when I let my parents borrow the truck for the weekend, and the mirrors do stick out a little bit far. Red cap. Exhaust tip isn't much to write home about, but I figured I'd leave that up to the buyer. We've got some small nicks on the tailgate that I imagine were from letting it down with a trailer on it. Any pickup truck that's been used will probably have that. Nice thick rubber floor mat here with the carpet fully underneath and all up around the sides. I have put a clean mattress back here before. Not for that reason. I was actually sleeping on the way to the racetrack. Now up here, I'm not sure how well you can see it. It did have a pretty nice dent in the fender that I had professionally removed. The dent did, however, crack a little bit of the clear coat, and it did leave a little bit of spider cracks there. I hope that shows up on the camera. Another very common issue with these trucks is on these plastic pieces here, the clear coat on the paint begins to fade, so it looks like that on both sides. See if I can get a roof shot for you. And you can see the roof as well is kind of got some clear coat peeling. You know, this obviously isn't factory Ford paint, so after 18, 17 years or so, you know, it starts to get dull. The chrome on the bumpers. The chrome on this truck is in excellent shape, as well as the paint, if I do say so myself. These mirrors are the extended mirrors. Move out like that for towing. I've never had to use that function. Some people ride around them like this if they're obnoxious. They do fold in and out. Now in the back seat, which had never been sat in, I don't think, before I acquired the truck, so the back seat did look fairly brand new. Again, you let your parents borrow it for the weekend, and it comes back with some scratches from the dog and whatever they had moved. The headliner, it's got a little ruffle in it, but other than that, it's in very good shape. It does have, being an American car, massive cup holders everywhere. You've got cup holders there. You've got cup holders there, which amazingly don't interfere with the shifter. You do have a slide window back here, and if you want to get back here for whatever reason, that one slides as well. Full power seats, heated seat. This one's tricky sometimes because I'll get in the truck and tap it with my leg and then wonder why I'm on fire in July. Automatic lights, which is nice, dimmable as well. Full power windows, obviously. Electric mirror controls, except for these areas here. You just kind of push that where you want it. Sunglasses or registration. There's a picture of an old Ford van from the 90s. Large glove box, which will be cleaned out. Another great feature, while you do have two very large, comfortable captain's chairs, is the center console. The dice are not included, so don't ask. I'd say the center console could fit one small child, which kind of makes it a 6-seater in my opinion, but some might not agree. Cup holders, excellent, as you'd expect from an American car, and doesn't even interfere with 5th gear, so I thought that was very nice. Or 6th gear, depending on how you want to put it. This is the trailer brake controller, which doesn't do anything unless the trailer is actually hooked up to the car. It is very helpful. You can adjust the brake bias on the trailer. Ample door pockets on both sides. Very comfortable truck, a little tricky to drive at first smoothly because it's a very heavy truck and the engine is also has a ton of mass. When you have a trailer on the truck, I will say it drives completely different. I mean, the shifts are like butter, the suspension becomes butter, so, you know, it does ride a little firm, unloaded. Anyways, I hope I've covered all the areas of the truck in terms of driving and features and condition. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and happy bidding.